Last week, my parents hosted a family barbecue, and in the middle of it, my sister announced her pregnancy. Everyone was happy for her, and during the celebration, she asked me in front of everyone if I would let her use my wedding venue for her wedding. She thought it was beautiful and said she couldn't plan her own wedding right now. This wedding venue is the one where my fiancé and I are set to have our wedding in a few months, and we have waited for it to become available for 3 years. Everyone expected me to say yes, but I firmly said that, as much as I love her, she isn't having my venue. Well, she started crying and stormed off. As soon as she did, Nan told me that I was being selfish because my sister needed the venue more than I did. I tried to defend myself, but my mother said to me, "You waited 3 years. Would it have lived you to wait a few more months? When has your sister ever asked you for something?" A few comments later, my fiancé got really mad at everyone, and we left before he absolutely tore them a new one. My sister later called me crying and said that it was unfair that I always get what I want and that I could have done this one thing for her. My brother-in-law then called me and apologized for the inconvenience. He told me he had discussed it with my sister, and she had told him she wouldn't ask. He is properly mad at her now and warned me that my sister is blaming me for potentially ruining her marriage when, in reality, she has done this to herself. My father has sent me about 5 texts along the lines of, "I hope you are happy. Your sister hasn't stopped crying since yesterday. My fiancé and I have decided to boot my sister from the bridal party and replace her with my aunt, who is the only family member that took my side. We have not decided whether or not we will invite my family as a whole. Furthermore, my mom took it upon herself to tell on us. She called my fiancé's parents and told them that it would be best if my sister gets the venue because she is pregnant. My future father-in-law told her to F off and basically ripped my mom a new one for expecting something so ridiculous and that they were going to lose me if they kept playing favorites. So, my mom is now crying too and saying that my father-in-law is a buttface. This is just getting so pathetic. It seems straight out of a bad soap opera. My in-laws are driving to us currently with some supper and wine and basically told me not to worry and that no matter what happens, they will be my safety net. Update 1. My sister kept berating me about the venue. She said that I was being unfair, that she is family, and that she asked nicely because she loves me. She sent me a huge text about us being family and how I should have her back and not be so selfish. The only text I sent back was this: "I am sorry that you perceived it that way. I am sick and tired of bending to your will my whole life. I have been your servant and your doormat. Remember all the birthdays I had to share with you because you would throw a tantrum because you didn't get presents? Or when you cried so that I would fill out job applications for you because you were literally too lazy to write your own CV. And mom supported you in doing that. But the thing that has hurt me most till now is when you ruined my graduation. Remember how you said it wasn't fair that I was getting the entire spotlight, and you wanted in on the celebration? So you took it upon yourself to wear the most expensive dress our parents could buy you, made a cake for yourself, and hung up balloons for yourself too. You insisted on being included in every picture I took. I am done. I admit that I also spoiled you, but I will not any longer. If you want to marry so badly before your baby is born, then you could look at a different hotel that offers last-minute weddings. I have spent too much time planning my wedding to gift it to you, and if you want to ruin our relationship over this, then go ahead. I will sleep sound and safe knowing that it wasn't my fault. She only sent me a wow, you must love me so very much, and blocked me. She unblocked me this morning to send me this wedding planner. Hello dear. I got the message from your mother and will proceed with the rebooking of the venue on the spot. However, this will have extra costs as we have to change the names on the contract. Please come by my office tomorrow so we can sign the new contract. My parents haven't actually written to me since the thing with my father-in-law. My older brother contacted me and wanted to know what happened because he got a weird story from mom and dad. Mom had told him that I had offered, prior to the barbecue, to give up the venue to my sister and that I humiliated her. I told him what really happened, and he had no problem believing me. We talked a lot about our parents' behavior, and he confessed that him moving was partly due to our parents being jerks to us. He told me that mom had gotten mad at me for betraying my family. We called my planner, and she was actually really horrified. She told me she had never talked to my mother since the day we went to book the venue. She assured me that even if they were to call and say that I wanted it, I had to be present to make any changes. So we informed everyone that will work for us on our wedding, and they offered to hire security for that day at a reduced price. Update 2. My sister is now bragging against me on Facebook, making constant passive-aggressive remarks and claiming I have made her depressed. I have received many messages from her friends saying that I am a bitch for treating her that way. I blocked every attempt at online harassment and my sister as well. But 2 days ago, my sister's best friend egged my car. I called the police, and my neighbor, whose hobby is to look outside the window and spy on people, identified them too. She is a grumpy lady but actually very lovely once you get to meet her. After not talking to my parents for several days, they called and asked if we could talk things out. I was wary but agreed to meet them with my fiancé in our apartment. When they arrived, you could tell my mom had been crying, and I honestly felt bad for 10 whole minutes. My wedding day. When my parents refused to apologize, I finalized my decision to move on. The wedding day went beautifully. My brother walked me down the aisle and I married my best friend. My sister tried to sabotage the ceremony, but security escorted her away. I am happy now, cutting off toxic relationships and looking forward to my new life.